What's up, everybody? So I'm in a great mood because I'm getting a ton of progress done this weekend. So as you can see, the tub is in, and and it is actually in. It's not sitting there. I didn't record the process at all because my friend came over and helped, and I hate to record whenever someone else is in here. So we got the drain box. I don't have any video, but I do have several pictures from yesterday, so I'll talk over some pictures and kind of walk you through what we did yesterday. So I got the drain box cut off first thing. I forgot to bring my oscillating saw home, which is really a shame, so I had no proper tool for that job besides my chainsaw. So I used a combination of my chainsaw and my angle grinder, and boy, cutting wood with an angle grinder. Not what it's designed to do, but it did get the job done, but it really smoked the place up. So then after that, I got that pipe cut off. That was also a job, trying to cut it off down there. It needed to be cut pretty low because I needed to put two 60 degrees, either 60 or 40 degree elbows that I had to put on that to get the drain pipe moved over far enough to line up with the drain on the tub to actually have it pushed all the way against the wall. So I had to cut it very low, and then I also had to cut my drain box out. I had to cut a notch out of it so that I could actually move into over the wall. Made me really glad that I didn't pour concrete on that side of the drain box. I actually planned to, but I just decided not to in the end because I figured I didn't have a point to, and I'm glad I didn't because the drain needed to go right there. So I got it cut, notched out the drain box with the grinder again. Almost had a bad accident. My grinder disc blew up while I was doing that. You see that? That was one of the worst disc pops I've ever had. Fortunately, no injuries, of course, but that was lucky. So then set the tub in place. The slab, I was very proud. The tub sat almost perfect, just naturally on the slab. This corner right here needed to come up 1/4 of an inch to get it just right everywhere. We corrected that with the mortar bed. You can see where we mixed up a bag of mortar and plopped it down on the floor and troweled it out a little bit. And then now the tub is sitting on that mortar bed now. It's sitting perfectly level. And that mortar has set up nicely. That's the first time I've checked on it. So the tub is in, drain is hooked up. And bonus on top of that, when we were looking at tubs, we started looking around at the flooring that they had at the hardware store. Really didn't like anything that they had, so we looked for other options in the area. And we found this building surplus store in town and went and checked, and they had this tile, which isn't really the color scheme I was going for. I like this design, but I kind of wanted black and white with like the same pattern. They didn't have that, but they did have this, which is still really cool looking in my opinion, and 99 cents a square foot, which is a whole lot cheaper than any that I've seen anywhere else. So I got flooring and grout and mortar and tile spacers and a trowel for the whole bathroom for right at $200, I think. I think it was like $202 was my total and I got a little tool for cutting odd angles in tile also. So quite a bit cheaper than I was expecting to spend on the tile. But today, you may notice I have no wall here. Got a little ahead of myself, I guess. I always kind of planned on just doing this wall second after that was in. I went and picked some 2x4s up earlier, and I picked up some more PEX and some more connections and a shower head and a tub faucet and shower valve. So first thing I'm going to do is frame this wall, and I'm going to finally frame that wall. I got some water lines to run. I've got to raise the toilet water supply. I haven't said that yet, but I've been planning on it, and I've had people commenting saying that line is too low. Yeah, the plumbers just took a guess since the slab wasn't in here, and that's just where they put it, and it's too low. And then also, I made a mistake in my last video, in my last video, I made a mistake. I took it out of the video because a couple people pointed it out, and then I researched it, and I was wrong, and I'm going to have to redo it. When I poured the second slab, I cut the water line underneath the slab and added a 90-degree fitting because I didn't like the radius of the water line in the slab. I thought, I don't know, it just didn't feel right to me to force it to bend like that to come up in the right spot. I didn't really research that before I went ahead and just cut it, put a fitting on there. I just kind of figured you could trust those things. But then a couple people pointed it out, and then I did some more research, and turns out, yeah, it's a pretty bad idea to have fittings under slab, which I said that when I did it. I was like, it really kind of makes me a little bit unnerved to, bury one of these 90-degree elbows in the slab in case it ever leaks. I don't know how you would ever know. Well, apparently you're not supposed to. So I could leave it and it would probably be fine, but I'm not going to. Unfortunately, I made the plumbers work for nothing, putting that water line there, because now the only thing I can do at this point is abandon it and run a new one through the walls. Otherwise, I will have that in my conscience forever that could potentially be leaking, and I have no way of checking on it, and it could be eroding the soil underneath the slab and wasting water, causing this and that and whatever other problems a water line leaking under slab could potentially cause. But I can fix it in just a minute if I cut this whenever I am in the process of raising up the toilet water supply. I already have to run a hot water supply in through the walls into here. I'll run a cold water supply up off the toilet water, go up and across and over and then down, and we'll just come down the wall and into the sink instead of that one. And then it goes under the slab here. I'm just going to cut that off and abandon it, I guess. That was a mistake by me. That's part of the reason why I get analysis paralysis so bad on everything, because it's like you got to know every little tiny thing and make sure you're getting everything right, because you can do something like that and it ends up, which hasn't caused a problem yet, but I would never know if it did cause a problem until it was a big problem. So, and it's not like I can bust out the concrete and fix it, because I needed a continuous piece with no splice. So the only thing I can really do, I guess I could bust all the concrete out and run a new water line through the slab, but I'm not doing that. The only other thing I can do is run one through the walls. So that's what's going to happen. I don't know if it'll be today or not, but first things first is going to be getting this wall and that wall framed up. All right, so you can see I got this wall all framed up nice and good. Got my sill plates down for this wall, except for this little one. I'm going to have a 4-inch wall coming off of the other wall. That way you got room to do the molding around the door frame. Got these anchored down. Didn't anchor that one. I didn't have enough concrete screws. Since this is still here and not abandoned yet, I just went ahead and notched that sill plate around it. I guess I'll probably, when I cut it off over there, I'll probably cut it off here. I don't see a point in leaving it once it's dead. But let's see if all my angle cuts are working. That one fits good. So this is the old top plate for this wall. I didn't take it out when I demoed it. That way I could go right back where the old wall was. I just lasered down just now to find the location of the sill plate. You have to put the laser on them and make sure that they're sitting plumb right where they're tight before I know for sure, but that's the start. And then once this was up, I was going to just measure off of it and figure out where 16 off either this way or this way. Take all these out so they're not all trying to fall as I beat these in. This stud is pretty twisted. This looks like the worst piece of lumber I got from there. I bought this from a lumber store, actual lumber yard here in town, and honestly, these 2x4s seem to be a lot better quality than anything I've ever gotten from Lowe's. That was not ideal. Because that shows that the Elikliv laser can survive a hit. Yeah, some of these angles match better than others. I just did the same angle for every one of them. And I guess there's probably a little bit of variance in that top plate or the bottom plate or something. Or both. Well, I figure that's going to do it for this video. Keep this one nice and short, and the next step will be the plumbing and water lines. Let me give you guys a closer look at this tile. I don't know how well you could see it in the other part of the video earlier. But I'm happy with it. I honestly had pretty much decided that I was going to do vinyl floor in here. And then this is even cheaper than vinyl. And I could not find a good quality vinyl floor anywhere. Every one that I found that I thought looked pretty good, you read the reviews on it and everyone says it's a horrible product. Scratches easy, hard to install. So, I guess we're going to end up being better off with tile anyway. It's like a third of the price of any of the vinyl floor I looked at too. In here I've got my shower head valve faucet for the shower. These things are not cheap. I spent a lot of money this weekend in between the tub, the drain kit, the tile, mortar, the shower head, everything else. It was an expensive weekend this week. But anyway, that's stuff that needs to be done. Still ended up way cheaper than hiring all this out, of course. And honestly, overall, it's not ending up being as expensive as I thought it would be. But anyway, I think I'm within days of using this shower instead of the temporary shower. I think what I'm going to do is once I get the water lines in here and I get this hooked up, I think I'm just going to staple some plastic to the walls and hang a shower curtain up and start using this and not have to deal with that anymore in there. And I think I'm very close. I think I have everything I need to get this working. I just need to actually put it in and get the hot water line in here, which is going to take just a couple minutes. And we'll have this going. And then hopefully I can just roll directly into putting tile down. Maybe I can get that done next weekend. As soon as the tile's down, toilet can go down. And then that'll be a functional bathroom. Functional. So shower and toilet that can be used. And then hooking up the sink won't be anything, but that's not like crucial because I got the kitchen sink right now. We're rolling and moving now. Can you believe that I thought that this was going to take 4 weeks when I first started this, like 4 months ago? Anyway, you guys got an idea what's coming next. That's the video for this weekend. I appreciate the support so much. Hope you guys have a good Christmas in case I don't make another video between now and then. And like always, thanks so much for watching.